is the first day the international borders are open for global travelers.
Wow.
We're expecting Delta. I'm going to write this in my tip today in my newsletter. Delta just said, basically pack your patience. It's going to be sloppy. It's going to be long lines. It's going to be longer lines at the land borders, but even at the airport borders, people are going to be coming. All the flights are full. Delta said their flights all from Europe are full. Virgin Atlantic said the same for not just on Monday, but for the whole week and even the month.
Wow.
So the airports are going to be crowded when you come in internationally, and these TSA checkpoint numbers are going to jump starting Monday or Tuesday because all these new travelers are coming in. They haven't been here in almost 2 years.
I know. Tell me about it.
Yeah. So it's an exciting time, but it's going to be a stressful time. The good news is that the Biden administration eased up on the federal vaccine mandate, so everyone was predicting, because it was supposed to start on November 22nd. It was going to be.
You couldn't have a worse time.
Yeah. So they postponed it to January 4th. They also gave the employees a lot more leeway. So I think
big proportion. I was surprised. Was it you who told me a big proportion of the TSA personnel are not vaccinated?
Yeah. In October, it was 40% were not vaccinated.
So that mandate could have knocked out a bunch of much needed TSA personnel.
And they're already short 5,000 people.
Yeah.
Officers. So
everything's
good
short.
news.
Where are all the people who are not working going? What are they doing? Are they staying at home? What are they doing?
I have no idea.
Come back to work, everybody. It's okay.
I did. Yeah, but I have a big tip if you have time.
Yeah.
You got a minute? Go ahead. Okay, so my other story that went viral this week was something's really up at Southwest in America. They had, all kinds of
1,800 flights canceled. 1,800 for
and even today they have a lot of delays, both of them. So my point is, both these guys are having problems with staffing issues. They're just overzealous and just making their schedules just too fast. So once there's some kind of weather, they don't have enough backup. So
it ripples all the way down the line, right?
Ripples.
Yeah.
It's a domino effect.
Yeah.
So my advice is, first of all, book the first flight out in the morning because you'll have a least likely chance of getting it canceled or delayed. But also book a backup flight on another carrier through a different hub if you have to travel through one in a different part of the country, just in case there's bad weather, and do it for either 3 hours later or the next day, and just make sure it's either refundable or that you can use it towards a credit for the following year. And that way you have a backup. I know it's not a popular tip because it's going to jack prices up, but it will protect you if you have to be somewhere.
JohnnyJet.com, and if you are into travel or you can't wait to get back to traveling, that's the place to go. JohnnyJet.com, follow him on Twitter and Instagram and right here too. KFI AM 640.
I'm Amy Queen, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Starting Monday, you're going to have to show proof of vaccination to get into indoor restaurants, gyms, movie theaters, salons, and other businesses in L.A. Businesses will be allowed to accept as proof a CDC vaccination card, a scan or picture of the card on a mobile phone, or a digital vaccination record issued by the state. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has pledged the state's help after 8 people were killed and more than 300 were injured during Travis Scott's Astroworld concert in Houston. Abbott is asking Texans to join him in praying for everyone affected by the tragedy. The U.S. has ordered non-emergency government employees and their families to leave Ethiopia and has urged other U.S. citizens to get out as the country's war escalates and fighters approach the capital city. Stalling Rosemead on the 10.
That's westbound at Walnut Grove Avenue. It's blocking the left lane, causing some delays from Santa Anita Avenue. Good news on the 210 westbound at Lake Avenue and Pasadena. An earlier wreck has been cleared from the right lane. Traffic is recovering from San Gabriel Boulevard. And in Fillmore on the 210 eastbound, there's a work zone there in between Polk Street and McClay. Has the two right lanes closed off until 5 a.m. Monday. Due to pavement work, your drive is jammed from Roxford. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Pedro Moreno.
I am one of thousands of women with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC,
which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body.
I am living in the moment and taking Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy.
Be in your moment. Ask Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Avoid the gridlock of having to sort through hundreds of resumes to find great people. Indeed's hiring platform makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates all in one place. To find your next great hire, visit Indeed.com/credit.
Radio advertising can connect your business with holiday shoppers wherever they go. Use iHeart Ad Builder to create an affordable custom radio ad right on your phone. Just click, listen, approve, then hear it on the radio. Create your customized ad today at iHeartAdBuilder.com. Are you suffering with nerve pain and numbness in your back, legs, and feet? Do you suffer from leg cramping, sciatica pain, pain when you walk, prickling or tingling sensations in your hands and feet? Have you tried all of the pain treatments, the shots, the pills, yet you are still suffering with chronic pain caused by peripheral neuropathy, spinal stenosis, or a failed back surgery? Here is good news from Dr. Philip Yu, founder of the 21st Century Pain Institute. You may now have hope of reducing or even eliminating your pain with new non-surgical options, like the new laser-guided stem cell therapy, which is helping millions live pain-free. If you are in pain, be one of the next 27 callers and receive Dr. Yu's special back, legs, and foot exams. Regularly $375, but only $97 if you are one of the first 27 callers. If you are in pain, grab your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say, pain-free. To receive the special $97 back, leg, and foot exam, grab your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say, pain-free. On your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say, pain-free.
By now, you've heard the news. Boosters for Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson vaccines are available. They help keep your immunity strong and help keep you and others protected against COVID-19 and its variants. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find out if you're eligible and to find a booster near you. Let's keep each other safer and healthier this winter. Get your booster, and don't forget to get your flu shot, too. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
KFI AM 640.
iHeart radio station.
24-hour news. More stimulating talk. I didn't want to leave. Oh, had so much fun. Beautiful country, beautiful people, very warm. Boy, the food was good. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, 8888, asked Leo, going back to the phones, David from Santa Clara, California. Or Santa Clarita, I'm sorry. Hi, David.
Hi, Leo.
Welcome.
Thank you. So I've been an AOL, yes, a blast from the past, an AOL customer on email since about 1995.
Yeah.
And we have a Mac now. We're using the Mac OS email client, and I'm trying to figure out how to back up all of my old emails in the likely event that we lose data. So,
Yeah, let's move you off of AOL pronto. AOL's been sold and bought and sold, and I don't even know who owns them these days. But yeah, it'd probably be wise to go somewhere else. I think almost everybody now seems like has a Gmail account, the Google Mail. I'm not even quite a fan of that. It's free. It's ad supported, but the ads are non-intrusive, and it's very good email. But I kind of like the idea of going to a company that does email and paying them, just because I think email is important, and so I want it to be treated as more important, so I don't have to run away every time they decide to change their business model. Nevertheless, how do we get our data off of AOL, our email off of AOL? Micah Sargent.
Yes, this is actually quite a simple process because you mentioned that you're using the Mail app on your Mac, and the Mail app makes it very easy to export and therefore archive.
Because it's downloading it as you check your mail.
Exactly,
yeah.
Every time. So it's a very simple process. We'll, of course, have a link for you in the notes, but essentially on your Mac, you just choose that AOL account that you have, you choose File, and you choose Export Mailbox, and then you're good to go. then it'll be saved wherever you want to put it. You know, if you've got Dropbox storage or iDrive storage or whatever storage you use, it'll be there, and you can always open it in the Mail app again anytime you need to. And I actually use this a lot with old Gmail accounts from when I've had previous jobs. I just pop open that mailbox account. I can search through the mail, find what I was looking for, close it again, and put it back on the external storage that I want. So it's a pretty simple thing to do, luckily.
That's because you're using a mail client. And so a mail client like Apple's Mail or Outlook on the PC downloads that mail, even from an IMAP server, which AOL is now, still downloads a copy of that mail, and you can save it out. If you're just using the web interface to AOL, or even worse, the software interface to AOL, it's a little more manual, but you can individually save messages, and you probably can select, 100 messages and save them out. But that's obviously not the ideal way to do it. In fact, if that's the only way you're using AOL mails through their client, it's probably worth getting a mail client like Apple Mail or Outlook or Live Mail if you're on Windows, and downloading that email and then saving it from there. Are you going to move, or David, or are you going to stay with AOL?
My wife just gave me a note. So how easy is it to end up with get off of AOL?
Well, this is the hard thing, because it's a change of address, right? So everybody, for the last 100 years has known that your address is at AOL.com. And this is another problem, and you can solve this problem now for all time by getting a domain. They're cheap, about $10 a year. The family name, your name, whatever you want. If your wife's using it too, maybe get the familyname.com or the family name. I have actually the familyname.email, which means it can go to me, my wife, my kids, whoever wants to use it, anybody with the same last name. So once you register that, then you can get an you can have it just forward to Gmail if you want to use Gmail, or you can get email service and forward to that. The nice thing about doing that is it's being forwarded. And if at some point you decide to get off Gmail or get off that service, you can go to another one, and all you do is you change the forwarding. So the forwarding is kind of permanent. For now, create a new email account, and then start down. This is another way, by the way, to get the AOL mail. If you set up a Google mail account, a Gmail account, you can have it gather your email from AOL into that Google inbox. In fact, you can have it continue to do that every day or hour. It can check and see if there's any mail, put it in your inbox. So now you can maintain that AOL address, but start giving out a new Gmail address. And I'm using Gmail as an example. You could do this with almost any service. Giving out that Gmail address, and eventually phase out that AOL address. Maybe put it in your signature. Hey, I don't use the AOL address anymore. Please update your contact information for me to this new address. Doing it...
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Doing it in Gmail is potentially problematic, because 10 years from now you're going to call me and say, well, Google went out of business, so now what do I... I don't think that's real likely, but
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But it's always a problem. That's why I don't use... I have a Gmail account. I have Laporte at Gmail, of all things, but I don't use it directly. For a long time, I used a custom domain name and forwarded it to Gmail. Now I forward it to a company that does email called Fastmail. It's my preferred way of doing email, and they handle it. So the forwarding is nice, because you can move around. If I decided tomorrow, I don't want to pay for Fastmail anymore, I'm going to go to Yahoo, I could just change the forwarding. It would automatically forward there. Still, you can still set up whatever. In fact, it might be easiest to do it with Gmail right now anyway, that it gathers all your email from AOL, so that you have one inbox that's got everything in it. And then if you want, you can create a domain name that reflects the Gmail for now. 8888 asks Leo, I say it every time, I think email's important, right? Maybe we should pay more attention to who we get it from. Don't get it from your internet service provider. Google's okay, Gmail's okay. Actually, of all the free providers, that's probably the best. But a lot of us think, it's worth 10, 15, 20 bucks a year. It's not expensive to get an email account with a provider that just does email. It's important, right? You wouldn't have a cell phone number that was just a free number that you got from Google. you take that more seriously, I think. Our show today brought to you, as it always is, by Remote PC. Let me tell you a little bit about what Remote PC can do. It's kind of cool. For people who are working from home, you put Remote PC on your computer at work, Windows or Mac, doesn't matter. Then you go home. And now you can log into that computer, Windows or Mac, doesn't matter, and do anything you would do at home, at work, rather, on the computer at home. It's kind of like teleporting. Upload and download files, run programs. I get emails all the time. Scott works in IT. He says, this product, Remote PC, allows me to quickly and easily access all my computers, office and personal, in an instant. It contains all the features one would need for personal or business use without having to pay for all the features you don't need. He also likes he's using Windows, I guess. The system tray application, very small, doesn't affect the computer's performance. You're going to love Remote PC. Scott does, you will too. $7 a month gives you 10 computers. But right now you get Remote PC for 90% off for your whole first year. You still get 10 computers. Just go to remotepc.com. Use my name, Leo. Don't wait. I don't know how long this is going to go on. Use my name, Leo. You'll get 90% off. Pennies a month for your whole first year. Best way to remote access your computer. Remote PC. Deborah is on the line from Laguna Beach, California. Hi, Deborah.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Welcome. What can I do for you?
I just have a quick question. My husband purchased an iPhone or an iPad a couple years ago, about 2 years ago, and then he passed away about 3 months later.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And so thank you. But I went and asked if they could clear it, but unlock it.
Do you have the receipt?
You need the proof.
Yeah, you have to have a
No,
proof
I
of
don't.
purchase. And they do this because they're worried about people stealing it. And you have a desk, so he bought it. If you had a credit card receipt, anything that could show that he bought it, then Apple would do that for you.
I thought even Amazon, and I went back and I couldn't find it. I'm not sure.
As far as I know, there is no other way to unlock it. Apple, they can do it. You have to convince them. You might just keep trying. Go to the Apple Store, throw yourself on the mercy of the court, call, bring a box of candy, because they can do it, but you have to get them to do it. And their, the whole policy is, well, if you can't prove you own it, we're not going to unlock it for you. I have an iPad some employee had. I can't find the receipt. We can't unlock it. It's a brick. And that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And you don't want to save the data. It's not like you want to see what's on there. You just want to use it.
Even took it. Right, I took it to a computer company, and
No, they can't do it either.
All day.
Only Apple can do it.
California has millions of homes that could be damaged in a strong earthquake, and earthquakes are inevitable in the Golden State. An older home is especially vulnerable to earthquake damage, so you may need to take steps to strengthen it and help reduce the chance of damage. Visit strengthenmyhouse.com to learn about better protecting your home from earthquake damage. The work may cost less than you think and can often be completed in a few days. You've worked hard to get a home. Now's the time to protect it. Get prepared today so you can worry less tomorrow. Visit strengthenmyhouse.com.
Are you suffering with knee pain? Have you tried shots, pills, yet you are still suffering with chronic knee pain caused by bone-on-bone osteoarthritis, a torn meniscus, a fall or accident? Have you been told that you need a knee replacement? Here is good news from Dr. Philip Yu, founder of 21st Century Pain Institute. You may now have hope of reducing or eliminating your pain with a new non-surgical painless laser stem cell treatment, the West Coast's only laser-guided stem cell therapy. This new treatment may reduce or eliminate your knee pain in minutes, and Dr. Yu is using this treatment on NFL alumni players with their knee and back injuries. Here's a special offer. Dr. Yu is offering a special $97 new knees in a day exam that includes an infrared laser joint inflammation scan, a Neuro 7 nerve test, and X-ray MRI review. Normally $375, but just $97 for the first 27 callers. Grab your cell phone and dial pound 250 and say knee pain. There is only a limited number of $97 exams, so on your cell phone dial pound 250 and say knee pain. This is KFI AM 640.
Mood-enhancing, pharmacy-grade, stimulating talk.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Hold on. I'm Amy King, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A federal appeals court has temporarily halted the Biden administration's vaccine requirement for businesses with 100 or more workers. The Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals granted an emergency stay of the requirement that workers be vaccinated by January 4th or face mask requirements and weekly testing. Louisiana Attorney General Laundrie said the court action halts President Biden's administration from moving forward with his unlawful overreach. News brought to you by Rooter Hero. People going to restaurants, gyms, entertainment venues, and personal care facilities around L.A. will be required to show proof of a COVID-19 vaccine starting Monday. The city's Safe Pass LA ordinance is one of the strictest mandates of its kind in the country. Enforcement will not begin until the end of the month. Then businesses can be fined for not checking vaccination records. Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers, who has COVID-19, says he's feeling better. He says he's been doing alternative treatments instead of getting vaccinated because he's allergic to something in the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines. Dr. John Brownstein says Rodgers has another option, get the J&J vaccine.
There is, unfortunately, no other scientifically proven treatment that would give you that protection, that would give you that sort of immunized term. And this is why really the NFL ruled them as unvaccinated.
He says unauthorized treatment could have major side effects. Witnesses say the crowd at a music festival in Houston surged toward the stage during a performance by Travis Scott. Fans say the surge squeezed them so tightly together they couldn't breathe or move their arms, and people started passing out. 8 people were killed.
It's not the kind of event you go to where you expect to find out about fatalities. And so our focus right now is to support the families of any victims.
Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo says about 300 others were hurt at NRG Park last night. The Astro World Festival was scheduled to continue through the weekend, but the organizers canceled it. Nearly 100 people have been killed and 30 others were hurt in an oil tanker explosion near Sierra Leone's capital. The tanker had hit another car and was leaking gas. That's when people showed up to take the gas. During that, the tanker exploded. Attorneys for L.A. County are asking a federal judge to hand over Vanessa Bryant's therapy records. The attorneys say the records are important in Bryant's case, alleging emotional distress caused by pictures of the helicopter crash being shared by L.A. County Sheriff's deputies. A Navy ship is set to be christened in San Diego as the USNS Harvey Milk, the first to be named in honor of a gay person.
A transgender veteran will christen the ship 10 years after Don't Ask, Don't Tell was repealed.
We have built this nation. We are part of the American fabric.
International Imperial Court System Queen Mother 1, Nicole Murray Ramirez, led the campaign and says the LGBTQ community has civil rights leaders and heroes too.
So why shouldn't schools, streets, ships, stamps be named after outstanding LGBTQ American citizens?
Ramirez says it's wonderfully ironic because today the Navy honors a gay person who was dishonorably discharged from the Navy for being gay. Milk's considered the first openly gay elected official in the U.S. He was a San Francisco supervisor in 1978 when he was assassinated. Corbin Carson, KFI News.
Got a stall in Rosemead on the 10.
That's heading westbound at Walnut Grove Avenue. It's taking away the left lane, so it's a slow crawl from Peck Road. Tustin on the 5 northbound at the 55. Watch out for a crash that has the 2 right lanes blocked, causing heavy traffic from Culver Drive. And in the Whitewater area on the 10 westbound, that's right just before Main Street, you'll see a crash that turned into a car fire blocking the right lane. That drive is jammed up from about the 111. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Pedro Moreno.
Checking things off of your DMV to-do list is now a lot faster because now the DMV has made it even easier to take care of tasks online. It all starts there. Maybe you need to get your vehicle registration renewed or transfer a title. You can get it all done online from the comfort of your couch. So if you have DMV tasks, save yourself some time and get them done online. dmv.ca.gov. Ready when you are.
The Delta variant is making COVID-19 spread faster and more easily. Variants can be more contagious, aggressive, and deadly. But we know vaccines work. Vaccinated Californians have greater protection against serious illness, hospitalization, and death. We can help stop the spread and end this pandemic. Get vaccinated and wear a mask when it can protect you and others. Find a vaccine near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
There's nothing better than feeling safe and sound while you gently drift off to sleep.
Right, Dad. And speaking of feeling safe, Sit and Sleep is proud to pay tribute to our veterans, active duty military, and first responders who protect us and keep us safe during our Veterans Day sale.
This Veterans Day holiday, come to Sit and Sleep and save up to 50% off the largest selection in the USA. With your good credit, sleep interest-free for 12 months with your minimum monthly payment. Plus, save $100 on select models of our exclusive hybrid Infinity mattress. And come try Casper and Nectar before you buy.
And as a special thank you to our veterans, active duty military, and first responders, Sit and Sleep is honored to offer a special Veterans Day sale discount.
Shop in store, online, or by phone with a trained mattress consultant. And we'll deliver your mattress for free, usually the very next day.
To all the heroes who keep us safe and help us sleep a little easier at night. Happy Veterans Day from Sit and Sleep.
California has millions of homes that could be damaged in a strong earthquake, and earthquakes are inevitable in the Golden State. An older home is especially vulnerable to earthquake damage, so you may need to take steps to strengthen it and help reduce the chance of damage. Visit strengthenmyhouse.com to learn about better protecting your home from earthquake damage. The work may cost less than you think and can often be completed in a few days. You've worked hard to get a home. Now's the time to protect it. Get prepared today so you can worry less tomorrow. Visit strengthenmyhouse.com.
Southland weather from KFI, mostly sunny with some clouds rolling through this afternoon. Highs in the mid to upper 60s at the beaches, mid-70s for Metro LA and Inland OC, 70s to low 80s for the valleys and Inland Empire. Going to see those low clouds and areas of fog again overnight with lows in the 40s and 50s, and sunny tomorrow after the burn-off. Cooler, highs just in the 60s to mid-70s. Continued cool Monday and Tuesday. It's 68 in Orange, 63 Laguna Beach, 68 in Cerritos, 78 in Canyon Country. We lead local live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Amy King.
Hour 3 of the Tech Guy Show on the air. Leo Laporte here. I am your tech guy for this hour. 8888 Ask Leo is the phone number. If you have a question, a comment, a suggestion, if there's anything you'd like to know, 8888 Ask Leo. Micah Sargent's joining me. He is Tech Guy Jr., helping me with all of the tough questions. I give them to Micah. Micah, I don't know. How do you do that? And he answers. He's kind of impressive. So that's Micah's been joining me of a Saturday. It's really good to have you. Thank you for
Good to be here.
being here. I think we do a better job, the two of us, than any one of us alone might do. We've also got our brain trust in the chat room, our team tech guy at irc.twit.tv. Jim's on the line from Glendale, California, our next call. Hello, Jim.
Hi, how are you?
Very well. How are you?
Not bad. I called you about 3 weeks ago when we were talking about Apple versus Android.
Yes.
Today, I have a...
And we should mention you are an avid Android fan. In fact, you said the iPhone was boring.
Yes, and that opinion has not changed.
But fair enough.
Here's what I want to ask you about. I've been off of Android for about almost 2 years, and now I'm back on it with my S21 Ultra. I noticed that when I go to Wi-Fi settings, there are a lot... It only shows, when you want to choose a network, the strongest signals. If I go to a separate app, like, say, Wi-Fi Analyzer, it shows how many networks are really out there. It looks like when I go to the in-phone app to connect to a network, that signals that are below about 75 dBm don't show up there. But it can't be a hardware problem if I'm seeing it in other software. So they've done this either on purpose or by accident, and I just wondered why.
Yeah, because it's too weak. So the weaker the signal, the slower the bandwidth up, and at some point, so slow that it's unusable. So I don't know about you. I'm opening up my Pixel 6 here, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Wi-Fi access points. But you're absolutely right. If you pick up an analyzer, which is designed to respond, report any signal it can see, you'll see more than that. But I think, I would guess, Samsung is probably doing this as opposed to Google and Android, that they're just not showing you networks that would be pointless for you to join. Because
well, that's that's reassuring because I more or less come to the conclusion. At first, I thought, I've got a hardware problem. But
No.
I could see network. Now I'm reassured that it's not. But I did wonder what the logic was behind it because I do agree with you. I think it's Samsung because I have another Android phone here, sort of a throwaway, and it shows many more networks.
Interesting. Yeah. So Samsung highly customizes Android. You know, if you ever use a Google Pixel, which is kind of pure Android, that the whole system preferences interface is completely different. And, you know, there's different entries and so forth. So yeah, I mean that's Samsung's prerogative. They think they're adding, and I think they're probably right, adding value by customizing it. That would be one way they'd add value. Not every visible Wi-Fi signal is usable for other reasons as well. You know, my DirecTV has a Wi-Fi signal that it puts out. I can see it by name, but if I joined it, there'd be no internet there. Roku's do the same thing. Microwave ovens. There's lots of Wi-Fi devices that will appear, their SSIDs will appear in an internet scan, but they may not be, in fact, joinable networks. I've noticed the same thing, and I'm guessing here, but I'm guessing that if you look at those signals as they get lower and lower, 75 dB is really right on the edge. So I could see that maybe they would say, if it's less than 75 dB, let's not bother.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. Like I said at first, I'm like, I hope not.
No, I don't think it's anything wrong with your device. No. Yeah. And I do think it's up to the operating system or the designers because obviously you can see more. But it would make sense for them to say, well, look, we're not going to show them that.
Okay. My last question for you is this. The Google Assistant, I use it periodically, and I always just use the voice access for it. I really would like to get rid of the swipe up from the bottom. I'm always doing it by accident, and I looked online about how to do it. It appears as though I'm on Android 11.
Look at the gestures. And again, I'm trying to remember Samsung. I don't have my Samsung phone with me, so I'm not quite sure. But it should be in the gestures section of the settings that you can change. You can absolutely change how it responds to swipe up, swipe left, swipe right, and all of that stuff. You can add home buttons and so forth. I can't guarantee that you could turn off the Google Assistant, but I'm pretty sure in settings you can turn off that swipe up to get the Google Assistant for sure. This is an example, though. The reason you were bored with the iPhone is because you didn't have all these choices, right? This is an example of why Android, for some people, is desirable because you have all these configuration choices. But there's some people who say, I don't even want to deal with it. Just do it right the first time.
Well, it's a love-hate affair with me. I'll find problems, and then I'll spend all day trying to figure it out, and you get upset, and then I'll figure it out and solve it, and I'll be like, yes!
I'm kind of with you. I like the ability to change the settings. It adds complexity. We're geeks, though, as we talked about. It adds complexity so people who don't want to be geeks say, I don't want that. But for those of us who, the fact that I can change that is fantastic, right? I'm just looking at Samsung's page. Scooter X in our chat room gave me a link to Samsung's page to see if they have talk about using Bixby. I'm sure you don't want to do that.
No. I just want to, hey Google,
One nice thing Google used to do is squeeze the bottom of the phone would set off the assistant, and they took that out of the Pixel 6. I thought that was a nice way to trigger the assistant. Now it's the on-off switch, I think, if you press and hold that. And that seems to be, phone makers, even Apple, seems to be kind of settling on that as the way to manually trigger the assistant. Sometimes you don't want to talk to the assistant. You just want it, you don't want to say, hey, Google, or you don't want to address it. And so having a nice physical switch is a good idea. Do you still have the Bixby switch on the left of your Samsung? I think, did they get rid of that?
Well, there are only 3 buttons in there on the right hand.
Okay, they got rid of it.
Oh, there's no.
Yeah, until must have been the S20, they had a left-hand button that was just called a Bixby Assistant, which no one wanted.
Remember that. Mine right away.
Yeah, immediately. Yeah. Hey, a pleasure talking to you, Jim.
Yeah, you have a good day.
You too. Take care. Here's what Samsung says. Why Bixby should be your default AI assistant. That's amazing. It's Google Assistant and the other AI assistants are. Bixby's the only one that can access Samsung exclusive services. This is so Samsung, right?
Right, because we all want access to those Samsung
Yeah,
exclusive services.
we know you want that. And don't forget Bixby's key functions. Bixby Reminders helps you stay on track of your schedule. It's great that we have choices. We've got Siri, we've got Echo, we've got Google's Assistant, we've got Bixby, we had for a while Microsoft Cortana. I like having a variety. It'd be nice to have all those choices. But it's not good to have two assistants working at the same time on any device. You should have one. I want to have a choice. I understand that. But you know, it gets, on Samsung, that's one of my biggest complaint about Samsung phones is they duplicate a lot of Google functions. And including the assistant.
Yeah, they don't add value, yeah.
Just, well, we're going to give you all of it. It's good. Our show today brought to you by iDrive.com. Let me tell you, everybody's got to back up. Are you backing up? Are you backing up optimally? What would be an optimal backup? Well, a local one, of course, so you can quickly get a file if you throw it away or lose it. But you also want to back up in the cloud, an off-site backup, which will survive acts of God, fire, flood, tornadoes, the pipe.
Discerning drivers will appreciate the 2011 Mercedes